Hello, students. Today we will take Footprints Without Feet, chapter number 8, The Hack Driver by Sinclair Lewis. Now, something about the author. Harry Sinclair Lewis was born on 7th February 1889 in Minnesota, USA. He was a famous American novelist, short story writer, and playwright. He was the first writer from the United States to receive the Nobel Prize for Literature in 1930. He was awarded the Nobel Prize for his vigorous and graphic art of description. He created his characters with wit and humor. His first book, Hike and the Aeroplane, was published in 1912 under the pen name Tom Graham. He spent several years writing articles for popular magazines such as the Saturday Evening Post and Cosmopolitan. The Hack Driver is the story of a very cunning manipulator, Oliver Lutkins. And the narrator of the story is a young lawyer who works in a law firm as junior assistant clerk. He had imagined that he would be drafting legal documents, but sadly, he was asked to serve someone, that is, to deliver notices to the people to appear in the courts. At times, he was beaten up and had to go to many dirty places to serve someone on people. He thought to run home as he hated this job, but he continued working. It was an unpleasant training period. One day he was sent to New Million. It was a town 40 miles in the countryside. He rejoiced going there. He had to serve someone on Mr. Oliver Lutkins. Oliver was needed in a law case as a witness. He reached New Million. It had muddy street. He met the delivery man at the station. He was about 40, red-faced and cheerful. His clothes were dirty, but he had a friendly manner. He told that his name was Bill. The lawyer then told him that he had come there to serve on a man named Oliver Lutkins. At this, Bill told him that he had seen him an hour ago. The narrator hired the hack at a rate of $2 an hour. The man with the hack told him that he had to take money from Lutkins, and he knows most of the places where Lutkins would hang around. He then told the narrator that if he went to Lutkins to get money in fancy clothes, Lutkins would definitely be suspicious and go away. So he offered to go into Fritz. He would ask him on his behalf and he should keep himself out of sight. The narrator was quite sure that they would get Lutkins with the help of Bill. On the way, Bill told the narrator that people there called him Bill or Magginson. His business was William Magginson fancy carting and hacking. Bill, who was Lutkins himself, told the narrator that Lutkins played a lot of poker. He was good at deceiving people. He also told something more about Lutkins. Both of them went into Fritz. Bill asked Fritz if he had seen Lutkins. Fritz looked at the narrator hiding behind Bill. He replied that Lutkins had been there a little while ago. He perhaps had gone to Gustav's barber shop. Then they drove off to Gustav's barber shop. Again, Bill went in first and he lingered at the door. He asked not only the Swede but the two customers who were sitting there if they had seen Lutkins. The Swede angrily said no and then added that if they find him, they should just collect $35 that he owes him. He was then told by one of the customers that he had seen Lutkins walking down the main street. As they climbed back into the hack, Bill concluded that since Lutkins had exhausted his credit at Gustav's, he had probably gone to Gray's for a shave. At Gray's barber shop, they missed Lutkins just by 5 minutes. He had left probably for the pool room. At the pool room, it appeared that he had just bought a pack of cigarettes and gone out. They followed him till it was 1 o'clock, and now it was time to eat something. The narrator offered to take Bill to a restaurant, but Bill wanted to go home to his wife so that they could have lunch for half a dollar. Then they would go to Wade's Hill. There they would enjoy seeing while eating. As they sat at the hill, Bill talked of New Million. He described almost everything from the minister's wife to the boys. They now resumed their journey to find out Lutkins. Bill told the narrator that he knew Lutkin's mother. She was a terror. Once he faced her because she felt that Bill had not handled her trunk with proper care. She almost took his skin off. She was 9 feet tall and 4 feet thick and quick as a cat. They went to her and asked about her son Oliver Lutkins. She shouted that she didn't know anything about him. Bill told her that they had a legal right to search the house. This made her furious. She went inside and came out with an iron rod from the hearth. She threatened to burn them alive if they dared to do so. They, however, quickly searched the house fully but couldn't find Lutkins anywhere. Now it was nearly time to catch the afternoon train. Bill drove the narrator to the station. The narrator considered returning to New Million to practice law. He was charmed by everything that he saw and met there. He pictured an honest and happy life there beyond the universities and law firms. He had discovered a new way of life there. He felt honored to have met soft spoken and wise neighbors like Fritz, Gustav, and many others. He was charmed by everything that he saw and met there. The narrator couldn't trace Oliver Lutkins in New Million. The people in the company were upset. The case was coming up in the court, and the narrator felt himself a shameful, useless fool. He felt his promising legal career coming to an end before it had begun. The chief almost murdered him. He hinted that he might do well at digging trenches. He was ordered back to New Million with a man who had worked with Oliver Lutkins. The narrator was on his second visit to New Million. He was with a man who had worked with Lutkins, so it was easy to search him. When the train arrived at the station, the narrator saw Bill standing at the platform with Oliver Lutkin's mother. They were talking and laughing freely. He introduced his companion to Bill and praised him for helping him in searching Oliver Lutkins. The man recognized Lutkins. He declared that the hack driver was not Bill but Oliver Lutkins himself. When the narrator served summons, Lutkins was not at all worried. On the other hand, the narrator was hurt that they laughed at him as if he were a 7-year-old boy. Then Lutkins begged the narrator to accompany him to one of his neighbors for a cup of coffee. He said so because all the people of New Million had seen him, but only these neighbors were the ones who missed seeing him.